What's up, guys? MegaBleeder here with the first episode of ATM3, All the Mods 3. We're taking it back to the beginning. I'm not sure why my skin is broken, but it is. I'll try and fix that at a later date. But today, we're going to get started in with some basics. I went with ATM3. I already played All the Mods 1. I tried to get All the Mods 2, and it doesn't look like there's really anything custom about it. There aren't any creative items in the version that I found that have recipes, so we're going to go with ATM3 today. So it all started here. There is an ATM Star. Check this out. So instead of having some crazy crafting recipe using Create, this is what we're looking at. This was the original ATM Star as far as I could find, using ATM tweaks and some recipes, the Orb of Transcendence. So it uses astral sorcery and a bunch of things from a bunch of different mods. Pretty sweet. Also, there's this unified field core. Again, a bunch of stuff from a whole bunch of different mods. The Paradoxically Dense Component. Some more stuff. Sweet. We've got a ways to go to get all of these things. The Forged Industrium. Pretty cool. It looks like there's one more here, the Industrium Alloy. So yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to work on. What we're going to do in the start of this world here, as the nighttime happens, apparently, because I did not pause it while I was looking through JEI and the quest book and all that. So first thing we need to do is get some wood, get some stone, set up some shelter. And get Tinker's tools. All right, now we've got that set up. We're going to need some materials for our tools. So I'm going to go over there and raid up a bunch of that gravel so I can get some flint. And now that we've got flint, we can make ourselves up a bunch of tools. So we need some stencils, pickaxe, shovel, axe, sword. We're going to need a tool rod, wide guard, and the binding. We're going to make the tools out of flint. So a pickaxe, shovel, axe, sword. The rest of the parts will be made out of wood, so each one is going to need a tool rod. And then our other tools need 3 of those, 3 of the binding, and the wide guard. Now we can say pickaxe, shovel, axe, and then finally our sword. We're also going to need some tools for a farm. So we can make that with the comma, which we need a little bit more wood. Or the matic. It's the matic. Comma is for shearing. Remember back in the day when if you wanted frogs, you had to go into modded Minecraft? Same thing with the fox. They still don't like chickens, though. Zombies never liked fire. Now that we've got a little bitty tiny farm set up, we're going to need some resources. Good morning, Mr. Owl. Good morning, Mrs. Owl. All right, now that we've got some basic resources set up, I'm actually going to need one of those. See here, I did a little bit of mining, and I took all of our clay, our sand, and our gravel to make seared bricks. This is made with grout. So what we're going to do now is make a Tinker's Smeltery, actually. We need a drain. We're going to need a casting table and a casting basin. We're also going to need 2 spouts. We're going to need a tank, which is going to be this guy right here, like so. And I believe that is everything. Then we can just craft the rest of these into bricks. And what we're going to do is place down a smeltery. Let's put it over here. Now, I am a little bit particular in the way that I like to make my smelteries. I know most people like to make them in a 3x3. I do not like that. I know the 3x3 is an even, or is an odd number. And I placed this actually down incorrectly. I thought I was going to have enough, but the way that I like to do it is set your controller there. We're going to put a drain right there. Our tank, which we're going to have to go and fill, is going to go there. Then everything else is going to go around it. And now, as we expand, we will be able to just add more to this in this way, and it's always going to be a stack, or it's always going to be divisible by 4, and 64 is divisible by 4, so I like to do it that way. We're going to go casting table, casting basin, a little bit of terraforming here. But what we're going to need to do is take 3 of our iron. We're going to need a bucket. So I'm going to have to find some lava. I don't know if there's any surface lava. It might be over here. That might be a pumpkin. Or we're going to have to head down underground to get some lava for our smeltery. There we go. Found a little lava pool down here. All right, now with this lava, we can take our iron and actually melt it down, and this will double in here. So we've got 4 doubling already. And then we'll cast it out into a block. We're also going to melt down some clay in our smeltery to make casts, because we are going to make a hammer. I mined up osmium from down below, so we're going to use osmium to make our hammerhead and our large plate, and then we're going to use iron to make our tool binding and our tool rod. The clay casts are a 1-use only. One little trick that you can do for your smeltery is put large stone plates in here, and that's going to make seared stone. Seared stone you can make out of cobblestone. It's just really slow. So it's a little bit faster to do it this way. Now that we have our iron and some extra seared stone, we can take our tool forge or our tool station and turn it into a tool forge wherever the iron one is. Bam. With the tool forge, we can make a hammer once I get enough materials, which I ran out of osmium. I was mistaken. But I believe we can actually use stone, and that will make it so that it can be repaired with stone. Yep. Fantastic. So we've got a way better mining tool now. With a hammer, we can mine resources a whole lot faster. Don't dig straight down. Oh, we got our first diamond. Check this out. Now, I'm going to try and save this because we need redstone. Or we need lapis, because we need to put fortune on this before we start mining a bunch of diamonds. So I'm going to go and find some lapis. Now, where does lapis ore spawn at its best? 7? No, that's in Alfheim. The overworld, it says 17. So let's go back up to 17. See if we can't find some lapis. Almost ran out of tool durability, but we've got some lapis here. And I did bring our tool forge, so we can upgrade our hammer right here. And we can repair it. So we just put cobblestone in there, put lapis in there. Now we get more lapis. Nice. Make sure we take this. And now we've got a new fresh cave to look around and discover. Oh, there's some more lapis. Don't want to miss that. We'll just carry that for now. I'm going to go find some more lapis so we can get this thing really high on the luck. Also found some redstone so we can make our hammer a bit faster. So that'll be nice. And a little bit more. And we don't need some of this andesite. Or that rare earth. I'm going to keep looking for some more materials. Alright, and after all of that, we did find another little patch of diamonds here. So let's clear out a good spot in the inventory. I'm not going to need these magic crystals. So let's get 4 diamonds. Nice. Actually, that was 3 diamonds, because we already had one, right? Alright, I think I'm good as far as mining goes. So we'll look around just a little bit more and see if there's something worth grabbing. This redstone. We can finish up our stack right there. And then is there something we can get rid of? Amethyst? Sure. We always need a lot of redstone anyway for modded Minecraft, so we'll take all of this. As long as it doesn't all get burned up. Awesome. So let's go home. Alright, check out this sweet haul that we got. All super valuable resources, and we upgraded our hammer quite a bit. It didn't level up yet, but we did get a lot of fortune on there and some speed, so we've got some decent mining capabilities now, and we picked up a ton of resources. That is awesome. Went ahead and set up a little bit of an automation here. So I've got wooden hoppers under the casting table and basin feeding into this chest. I did make a ingot cast using aluminum brass, which is just a little mixture of copper and aluminum. Then I've got a wooden hopper here feeding in some ores. Right now it's doing iron. So all those are just going to get poured out into ingots. What I can do when it's backing up like this is pump out some blocks, but pumping them out in ingot form is going to be quick, or is going to be the way that we're going to use it and going to be the easiest way to automate it, because if I just set it here, then we'll end up with a partial block and I'll have to export it, or I'll have to put more iron in here to be able to fill that up and get it, blah, 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 blah. So this guy's going to sit and pour out ingots. Every once in a while, I'll use this to pour out a block just to make sure it's nice and fast, doesn't get backed up. But I'm going to go through and process our resources here so that we can get moving on to some more stuff. One thing that'll also make mining a lot easier is a nice little custom dimension. from extra utilities. Let's find a good space for this portal. Right here? Let's try it out. Let's go in here and see what's going to happen. All right, this is the Deep Dark. This is a scary dimension where the darkness actually will kill you. So you need to be real careful in here. There is a monster in here that we can't see, we can't fight it, but in the darkness, I'll kind of dig down here a little bit to show you, because we're actually at the top of the world. You look at our Y level, you can see we're actually all the way up at 175, 173 now. Any second now, I'm going to start taking damage. The other interesting thing about the Deep Dark is it's just a mining dimension that's just all stone. So when we go down there, if we can manage to do it without being killed, what we will find is that the world is dense with ores. So I'm going to head down there. Alright, I dug a little hole down. I did get jumped by some monsters on my way down here, but we've got a little area that we can actually mine into now. And we can see that resources are pretty dense down here. We mine through a little bit. We'll mine down over here. Look, apatite, osmium. This dimension has its own kind of origin rules. Oh, there's even a cave down here. Interesting. Additionally, we have another mining dimension option. Using this guy here. I need more sticks. Let's make all of these into stone bricks. With this mining multi-tool. And then we take 10 of these guys, pop those in there. And I suppose we'll put this over here as well. I need to fix my pickaxe. I broke it on our last little mining trip there. Our last little demonstration. I need to upgrade those tools. I'll move this back just a little bit. I need a couple more, apparently. I'm not sure if I needed the corners. Look at that. Now if we go in here, this is another mining dimension. And in here, one thing that I'd be looking for in particular would be emeralds. This mining world, I'm pretty sure this is the mining world that it's talking about. Y24. We can find some emeralds here. Now, I think this dimension, actually, if we went up to the surface, is eternal day. So it might be worth it to put some solar panels here in this dimension. I'm not sure if mobs can spawn here or not. I don't remember if that is a thing. There we go. Look at that. There's some emeralds. Now if we can just get over there successfully without too many issues. Yeah, there we go. Now let's see. Let's drop a bunch of this that I do not need. Ooh, look, it's a couple of emeralds. Nice, 3 emeralds. And I know what you're thinking. Well, wait a minute. What do you want to do with emeralds? We are going to use the lens of the miner. We need emeralds for that. This is actually something that has been being used pretty commonly here in recent Minecraft versions with the new actually editions. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to go back and use it in its kind of original state. Found those diamonds and it wasn't, or those emeralds, and it wasn't even at the optimal range to find it. Our hammer did level up. So we can see we are comfortable with it now in our XP reset. So we got another modifier so we can make our fortune better, or we can make our speed better. Probably fortune, that's just going to be more worthwhile for when we mine things like diamonds and emeralds. But yeah, so we've got actually 2 different mining dimensions. And this one is the one that I'll probably use the most because mobs don't spawn here, which is really nice. Alright, so that was another super successful mining trip into that dimension as well. We filled up our inventory. Look at that. And we've got 34 diamonds, 13 emeralds. We are just rolling in it. So that is awesome. And our resources over here processed up. That's just great. I'm going to throw some tin in here now. Let that process. Awesome. All right, now that we've got a ton of resources, let's do some crafting. Let's make our quality of life a lot better. We're going to need power. And as you can see from my bookmarks here, where we are going with this. We're going to need a controller. We're going to need some quartz enriched iron. I'm going to take about yay much, I think. That'll be an all right amount. We're going to have to do a little bit of cooking. I know that I need 3 of these. The controller, so we're going to need 1 of these guys. So this processor binding. That's 1 of those. Let's go ahead and toss that in our furnace. So that's doing its thing. To make this, we need 2 of these. 1 of these guys. Actually, a couple of those. We got those 2 and that. So let's take that out of there, drop those in, take some of that, redistribute that just a little bit. We could get a chest. We'll make our disk drive. So we've got that. We'll take that off of there. We've got our coal generator, our controller. We need another one of those. That goes in there. The next thing we'll need a crafting grid, so we're going to need another log so we can get a crafting table. Crafting grid takes that, takes all of those. We need, we'll take 1 of those guys. We need another 1 of these. We'll take our controller. We're going to put this stuff right here. So a controller there, coal generator there, and we can actually, I believe, I'm not sure if we can put tiny coal in this. We can put tiny coal in it. That's going to get this guy charged up. He makes, oh, I don't remember what the coal generator was. 30 crystal flux, which I think is just RF. So that's going to be running there. We can take our disk drive. We'll pop it down right there. Come back over here. Grab these. One thing that I'm going to need additionally is a grindstone. So we're going to need 3 Certus. We're going to need some aluminum because we need an aluminum gear. We also need the crank. And you might be wondering, why do we need that? Because I need a glowstone, and there's a recipe for glowstone that just takes pulverized gold. So we're just going to drop those in there. And we're going to pulverize this gold down. Might take it just a minute. Once the crank candle stops turning, then it's all done. I'll just wait. I'm not going to check it. There we go. There's our 4 pulverized gold. We'll make ourselves a single glowstone. For this, we need that guy. And then finally, that will make that. The crafting grid, we need 1 more of these. Let's go ahead and cook that guy up. And we're all good there. We're going to need 3 of these. And what did we run out of? We ran out of glass and quartz enriched iron. We'll get another one of those. I need more glass. I'm going to cook that up. Here is our crafting grid. And now we just need storage, which is going to come from this glass. All right, so we've got enough glass. I crafted up the other 1Ks. Boom, we take a 4K. We turn it into a storage disk, and then we could just drop it in here. And now our system can hold 4,000 items. All of this goes in the network. And right now we're only using 1.1 thousand. Look at that. That took no time at all to get all the way into refined storage. Look at that. We can probably get another one of these crafted up before too long. We need some more quartz. Looks like we're out of iron. Kinda. I got some clear glass cooking up there. So we know we need this. We're out of the 4Ks. We're missing a bunch of stuff there. We can make 3 of those. And then all we need is 4 of these. We can get another 4K. Nice. This clear glass will look really nice. Ooh, look at that sunset. Wonderful. Take a quick nap. We'll take all of this out of here. Take that. Make 1 more of these guys once we get some more quartz enriched iron. And we are good. We are rolling in the storage. All right, I went ahead and upgraded my tools. Put the ingot cast back in there. So all I gotta do is take these guys and we get better attack by quite a bit. Our mining level can go up and our mining speed goes up as well. Our axe does mining faster and a little bit more damage, more durability on our shovel. Let's also get ourselves a lumber axe so we can cut down tons of trees at a time. Look at that. Demolishing the trees. Now we'll also switch over from oak to spruce to make it even better. Alright, so I did a little bit of resource gathering there just to get up some magic-related items. We're going to push forward into some magical work, as you can see, with some Botania. Did raid an astral sorcery temple, so that was good. Got a little bit of resources from a couple of cows that were nice enough to help me out. So what we're going to do now is actually take the bones that we have, and those can go in a crusher, right? Yeah. So we'll get a little bit of bone meal here that we'll use up to just duplicate our flowers. So you can duplicate Botania flowers using bone meal. And what we're going to do is put some of these guys down. We could probably deal with just 4. Now, I'm not sure. I think this version doesn't have the new kind of Botania mechanics, the tall flowers. In new versions, you can just smack them with your bare hand to break the tall flower, but in the older versions, as you can see, or as I'm pretty sure, we cannot. So what we want to do, and we'll take, I don't know, an extra cyan, I suppose. We need a petal apothecary, which is going to need some cobblestone slabs. So we'll do that. We're going to swap this out because I want the white ones that we're going to use the white ones. And I think what I'm going to do is knock this down just to give us a little bit more real estate right here. All right, now that we've got a petal apothecary, what we can do is drop those in there, drop a seed in, and that will allow us to create these pure daisies. And what we can do, so right click with an empty hand to add back the last recipe. So we can click that, it's going to put those seeds in there, or the petals in there. We just drop a seed right in, and we're going to start off. That was a crazy throw. Oh, I didn't click. That's why. All right, so we've got 4 pure daisies. We're going to need some logs and some stone to get started. And let's put a little bit more cobblestone in our furnace here. So we're going to need to put this guy here 2 blocks away, like so, and then we're going to need wood. Wood is going to transform into living wood. The stone is going to transform into living stone. Grab a little bit more. That's going to take exactly 60 seconds. That is going to let us get started into Botania. So moving forward, what we're also going to need, what we're also going to make will be the endo flames. And these are used with brown, light gray, and red. So we've got some red, got some brown, and we also have light gray. But we're going to need a little bit more bone meal. So let's get this cranked out. We'll get, let's get 12 bone meal. That will probably be enough. One more recipe. One more recipe still. There we go. I think that was it. Yep, that was it. So we're going to need these guys. Don't want that cyan. You can actually automate this process pretty decently. One fun thing about Botania is that it's designed to be able to be fully automated using just Botania or just Botania and vanilla redstone mechanics. So that's pretty nice. So we've got those guys. We're going to need a couple more seeds. What kind of seeds do I have in here? Black seeds will probably work. And we're going to make, let's say 4 endo flames. So 8 brown petals. 4 of those and 4 of those. That should be good. So again, drop those, drop 1, drop that, drop the seed. And what we can actually do, click, drop. 1 more. There we go. And these guys, the endo flames, they produce mana using burnable materials. So we're going to need this living rock. I think I said living stone before, but it's living rock. 16 of each should be plenty to get us rolling. Excellent. And then what we're going to do is craft up a mana pool. And craft up a mana spreader. Not going to use the white, we'll use the cyan. And let's get a wand of the forest. With this, we can use purple. And purple. Oh, we're going to need living wood twigs. 2 of them? Was it 2? It was 3. There we go. Boom, wand of the forest. And then what we're going to do is take some charcoal. Like so. We'll take our mana pool, place it down right here, place down our mana spreader there. Our 4 endo flames will go there, and we can just drop those down. These guys shoot them up, and they're going to transfer power into the mana spreader. We shift right click on that, and click on the mana pool, shift right click on the mana pool, and now we can see our mana spreader is filling up with mana, and then it's exporting it. It's shooting it out into the pool there. And we can see kind of each mana stream get sent out. So the endo flames are a pretty basic way to start with mana. There are a couple options. I gotta find this zombie. Zoom in on our map. There is quite the cave down here. It looks like it's right here. So let's see. If we head down. Oh, we level up our tool. Put that there. Alright, there's some bad guys in here, including a creeper. Alright, and do I have torches? I don't, but let's go ahead and grab some so we can light up this area. Stone torches. I don't have any rods, but we can do this. Use charcoal instead of coal. There we go. That'll keep us from getting annoyed after this lag spike. With this whole bunch of fresh mobs spawning down here. Look at this. This is a great cave. Not sure if they can reach up here. Doesn't look like they can. Let's get some torches down. There's a lot of room down here. Look at this. It's a neat little cave. There's a villager down here, apparently. A zombie villager. Oh, look at this. There's a whole kind of ravine down here. Where's this guy at? They're straight up ahead in front of me. Can't exactly tell where they're at. Anyways, that should hopefully be enough to keep them quiet. They should be hopefully far enough away. We don't have to listen to them making a ton of noise. Can't tell where they're at. Directly down? Yep. Oh, there's a whole cave down there. So let's do this. Yeah, look at that. I think it's extra utilities, possibly, that adds these. I'm not sure what mod adds these underground caves here. But I think that is going to be it for today's episode. Let's move this. I just wanted to get those guys cleared out so we don't have to sit and listen to them make all that noise. We're going to have to light up the base some. We got a little bit of mana. We'll let that sit and run. As you can see, and you use burnable materials, so we used a block of charcoal. So that should last for a good long while there. But I think that is going to be it for this episode. Before our controller runs out of power. Just want to say thanks for stopping in. Remember to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And if you are interested in playing with a community, I do have a community server. Currently it's running Money Factory. And we've got, I think, 3 people that play on that. They're making some good progress so far. If you're interested in that, join the YouTube members channel. I also have a Patreon. I'll leave the link for that in the description, for both of those in the description, as well as the Discord. All right. Thanks for stopping in.